way of life. Welcome to War Eagle Roll Tide.
And we are back. Welcome, War Eagle Roll Tide. Apologize for the technical difficulties. We think we have it set up now. I have some very special guests going to call in here any minute. Josh Snead and Robert Clay, co-creators of SEC Shorts. They stream on Facebook, parodies with the SEC teams. Not sure if you've seen their work. If you have, I hope you've enjoyed as much as Tony and I have, and we're certainly looking forward to spending some time with them here in the next couple of minutes.
I'm really excited about getting to talk to those guys and find out how they come up with the ideas that they come up with, because it is just spot on. You think they're in my mind.
They're genius.
It's incredible.
SEC Shorts. Look them up on Facebook if you haven't. If you're not familiar with their work, they are really good. Going to be calling in here to the show any minute. Look forward to catching up with them. Appreciate all of you being patient with us. This is kind of a work in progress here in the early going. Internet issues abound in our area. Our executive producer, Ken James, you can't imagine the work he does behind the scenes to make it happen. If it was left to you and I, it would be a no-go.
It'd be strings and tin cans.
Going back, just going to waiting on our phone call from Josh and Robert. But to recap, last week, had a great time last week with Updike calling in. So had a good response in terms of watching the video, comments, whatnot. We appreciate all the support. For those of you watching tonight, if you would like and share the video, tag some friends, the more interaction, the better. We're able to monitor comments on the Bossman Productions Facebook page. So if you're wanting to interact or ask questions of the guys here in just a few minutes, when they call in, comments on the Bossman Productions Facebook page, we'll be sure to get to as many of those as possible. Week 0 in the book last week. Florida and Miami, of course, the marquee game. I guess that's football. Man, tough.
Sloppy.
Phone call coming in.
Hey, how are you doing?
And we got Josh and Robert with us.
That's right. You got the two.
Man, that is awesome. Thanks, guys, so much for calling in tonight. This is War Eagle Roll Tide. This is a weekly podcast. We come on each Thursday night at 7-ish. Tonight, a little more on the ish side. Had some internet issues, but certainly glad to have y'all on. And just to set the table just a little bit, last week was our pilot program, and we wanted to come on with a big hitter, so we flipped a coin between you guys and Updike. And it came up tails, so we had Updike on last week and SEC Shorts on tonight. But thank you so much for being a part of it with us here tonight.
Man. So you guys are sloppy.
I killed my house for that last week.
We have several things we'd like to get into. And first of all, you guys are geniuses, co-creators of SEC Shorts. I share every one that comes up that I see. I think Tony does the same. A lot of people down in our listening and viewing area are big fans of you guys. We want to know how it came about, how y'all came up with it, how long was it a work in progress, how long did it take for you guys to get your ideas to the media?
Well, first off, we are geniuses. Thank you for recognizing that. It's so hard to, a lot of people throw the word genius around, so to hear it used properly really means something to me. Yeah. So basically, we got our start when the SEC Network launched, and Paul Feinbaum's show they were asking for people to send in video rants. They're famous for their crazy callers, but they wanted people to send in videos, and so we were like, hey, we should send in a little sketch or something. So that's kind of how we got our start. We started doing it weekly, and they got a good reaction, and then started putting them online, and then it just kind of took off from there.
You guys have to have some writing background or acting background, or there has to be something there other than just two good guys doing skits, right?
Well, I'm classically trained from Juilliard. Method actor right here, yeah. I was in the Jungle Book in 4th grade. That's about the
I can already tell we're going to have to get them in studio, and we could have a good time.
They are essentially us, except they're younger, better looking, and more talented.
And well, yeah.
I mean, but other than that, guys, we are simpatico guys.
I'm going to tell you, I was trying to think about which one of the shorts that I like best. And of course, the ones that are most recent are the ones that stay most fresh on your mind. But Arkansas asking their mom if they can play football was incredible. I mean, just absolutely incredible. I've watched that one about 15 times myself.
But how do you decide though? Because here's what sticks with me, guys, and y'all do the Big Ten. I think I've done 2 of the Big Ten hijacks the SEC network or whatever the premise is. And y'all had a line in there, and y'all's lines kill me. They're so clever. And it was something to the effect of, when you win a national championship T-shirt, it lasts a lifetime. When you win a national championship, the T-shirts last a lifetime. That's so obscure and so accurate, but that's what makes it so hilarious. You guys are, we are tuned into y'all's kind of comedy, and we absolutely love it. I can't get enough of it.
Well, you can't get Josh talking in his Midwestern accent, because he talks in it for like 4 days. So we try not to.
So he's like most really crazy actors. He kind of gets stuck in character for days, and it takes him a while to get out of it. Like the guy that made the Man in the Moon, the comedian. Jim Carrey, he made Man in the Moon. They said the whole time he was making it, he was stuck in character. So Josh gets stuck in character, is what you're saying.
Exactly like.
Well, one of the things that intrigues me about it, guys, is how you're able to capture the essence of a season, or capture the essence of a fan base feeling with some of these things that y'all do. I mean, like the ferry, and the comments y'all have come to the ferry is just they're so subtle, and they're so easily delivered, which again, it makes it hilarious. Do y'all sit down and write this stuff out? Do y'all just like have that natural ability where you've kind of got the pulse on the fan, or the pulse on the season, or how do y'all do that?
We definitely write out the scripts. It's we'll write scripts out. We'll try to brainstorm some jokes, and then like on set, Josh, we'll kind of add some ad libs, some stuff, kind of put it more in his voice. But yeah, we kind of like try to watch the games and kind of keep an eye on like the general like gist of how each team is doing. And then with Arkansas, they're hot garbage. So it was pretty easy to say, well, they're going to be terrible.
Do y'all, are you two the only writers, or do y'all take input from other cast members, or how is that set up creatively?
No, we do all the writing, and we come up with all the ideas together. We can't afford writers or help, or that doesn't stop people from pitching us ideas out in public. None of those are ever any good, so we haven't done any of those. But,
everybody wants to know this. Do y'all have an allegiance to a particular team?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. It's so I went to Auburn. So I'm a big Auburn guy, and Josh went to Montevallo, so naturally he cheers for Alabama if he didn't go there. So we have a big Alabama fan. That's kind of how we got started. We were just making Auburn, Alabama once, and then finally we kind of realized we could probably like branch out and do the rest of the SEC.
Robert, I don't want this to creep you out any, but I want to be your best friend.
Oh, nice.
You should feel very creeped out, Robert.
Oh my God!
I have no friends. So hey.
Too good. Now, another one of my favorites, and it was for obvious reasons. I loved seeing Alabama laid in the bed after the Clemson game. I got a big kick out of that. If you ever need a stunt double, I've got the perfect guy for you. If y'all want to get a little more physical with some of your acting, where injury and or near death is a real possibility, I got a guy I can send you, and we can stand him in, and he'd be perfect for it.
Well, no, it's not Harvey, but he does claim that I look a lot like him, and our producer loves to have fun with Photoshop, and so there is some resemblance to me and Harvey Updike, and they did a Photoshop so well one time, guys, for a whole year. my mom thought that Harvey Updike was me, and they got a lot of mileage out of that. So it's
Your own mother?
I'm telling you, these guys.
The electric wars, they're going to like keep you in there.
These guys are eerily similar physically, facially. I have a real problem with the fact that neither one of them have been seen in the same place at the same time. I'm not positive that we'd have mistaken identity up there. I'm really not.
Well,
the Lee County guys are looking for the tree money from you.
Yeah. Well, one of the revelations we had last week from Harvey is he has a piece of that tree that he killed, which I found very Jeffrey Dahmer-like.
All serial killers keep stealing from their victims.
If y'all have an extra 2 hours to spare this week, go back and watch our interview with him. It ran a little long, but there were some things that he said that was pretty funny, but would also, shock the socks off of you.
What is the relationship with the other people that show up in y'all's shorts? Are they just friends? Are they co-workers in another setting? Or how do you come across those folks?
And let me put it more bluntly, guys. How do we get in one of these things?
Where do you guys live? Where do you live?
Yeah.
Where are you from?
We're both from Bruton originally, but I live around the Montgomery area, but work around the Tuscaloosa area.
But we can be anywhere. We can drive anywhere.
You tell us where to be, when to be, and what time, and we'll be there.
We can certainly put that on the maybe list,
I mean, a lot of people say that I look a lot like Baker Mayfield. I mean, if you're sitting there brainstorming and thinking about shorts or whatnot.
I don't know anybody that says you look like Baker Mayfield. You look like a baker's dozen as opposed to Baker's Mayfield.
Think Cole Kubelik. I look a little more like Cole Kubelik. Yeah.
Oh man.
No. Think Mini Me. He looks more like Mini Me.
But yeah, I mean, we couldn't be an extra.
Pay $20 for the milk.
We'll do it for free. We'll probably wind up paying you guys to be in it. That's how much we enjoy these things.
I mean, you always need an extra.
Yeah, we appreciate you watching. It's always fun to hear people get a kick out of them and watch them. That's kind of why we do it. It's always nice to hear the feedback because, do it for the money. Craig Josh does it for the money, but, try to do it for the game.
Now, who wrote the songs for the Disu Quartet or the SmackDown Quartet or whatever it was? Who wrote the lyrics to those?
Robert did.
See, okay.
Yeah, we go back to obviously that was a big part of my musical background. So I wrote a few of them, and then Josh wrote one of them, and then the singers came up with an idea for the I don't know if you remember the "You'll Be Home for Christmas." That was their idea. Yeah. So it was a nice collaborative piece. That
was really cool because I'm more of the lyrical side of this, and for years, way before we had this onslaught of media and one touch connection, we would do it passing notes in the hall, DJ and I, him Auburn, me Alabama, and then when the email age came, it was emailing, and now we literally have a string of text with some mixed friends, Alabama and Auburn friends, that get started up every football season. That is how many years old? How many years old that string of text?
See, you guys started it in 2009. So I guess it's 10 years.
Yeah. And
I have woken up one morning to 176.
And so what you guys are putting out there for the mass to consume, we've kind of been doing a little of that, a little more blue than what you guys do. We're more of the late Vegas version, privately, but we've been doing it, and that's why we connect with you guys so much and get a kick out of it.
Hey, hold on a second, guys. We're going to queue up some of your clips and show on our show if that's okay with y'all.
Yeah, do it.
Yeah. All right, Ken.
So he's just been laying there?
SEC shorts.
These are
Robert
great.
Clay, Josh Snead.
These are great.
How long is he going to be like that?
Hopefully we can have him eating solid foods by A-Day and PT by fall practice.
So what you're saying is that he can hear and comprehend me, but with his jaw wired shut, he's lost the ability to retort?
That's right. That's why it's important for him to have friends like you now more than ever.
Okay, John's going to have a brief opening statement, and then we'll open it up to questions.
Just to start it off, does anyone in here play linebacker? Anyone at all? High school's fine. Any experience?
51 weeks out of the year, they're best friends. But during Iron Bowl week, they're bitter enemies.
That's right. It's going to be real interesting this week. See what happens.
Thompson here getting his morning coffee. We have Josh entering the room. Looks like we could have a situation developing here.
Yeah, it looks like Thompson's definitely scoped him out. And oh my.
Oh, no. He's pouring out the remainder of the coffee.
Wow,
He's walking off and leaving him with no coffee. He's going to have to brew his own. What do you think about that?
There was enough for 2 cups in there, I think, for sure.
And
clearly. Yeah, this is a low shot here.
All right, Tua, let's take a look at that knee.
Yeah.
You've got some swelling here. Doctor, you want to come take a look at this?
Yes, of course. We're going to have to amputate.
Wait, what?
And if we act quickly, we might be able to save the leg above the knee.
I concur.
But we could just ice it.
Time is critical.
Spots
The Iron
like
Bowl's
us.
coming up, and I've already got this saw here.
Doctor, maybe we could just get him back to the locker room.
Yes, I concur on the amputation diagnosis. You're going to want to bite down on this.
Do you know where our regular team doctor is?
No.
No idea.
So he's just been laying there?
There's not much.
I concur. That's too good. I concur. That had to have come from Spies Like Us, did it not?
That came from, what was that movie?
Catch me if you can.
That was absolutely what that was from. Yeah, that was. Nobody really got that joke. So
No, I did.
I get it. Well, see, and we're so different wavelengths. He thought it was Spies Like Us. I thought it was Catch Me If You Can. So
It was used in both of them.
yeah, it was.
Yeah, Adam and I were talking about that beforehand. Yeah, we put the doctor part in there for Spies Like Us.
It's too good. I'm telling you, man. Just too good. How often do you guys try to get out one a week? Or what is the schedule?
So we'll put out one a week on our social media pages, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, during the season. And then we'll do one video for the SEC Network, which runs on SEC Nation Saturday morning. So we'll do 2 a week. And then that pretty much keeps us pretty busy during the season.
Well, that was my next question. You know, the shorts that you see on social media are usually, 5 to 8 minutes, whatever they are. How long does it take to get that together from a production standpoint and get it to a finished product?
Yeah, so we watch all the games on Saturday, and then we meet early Sunday and start kicking around ideas. We usually try to settle on one as early as possible, and then we've got 12 to 15 hours to write a script, find a location, find actors, make props, shoot it, and then Robert goes back to his apartment at midnight and then edits it till 3 a.m. and then it's posted by Monday morning.
Wow. Well, let me throw this out there. I'm going to the Auburn-Oregon game this Saturday, and I do have a foam finger. So if you need me Monday, I can be anywhere you need me to be. Just saying.
Is the foam finger assistant charge, or is that that's just kind of a package deal?
It's a package deal.
The foam finger has more talent. Well, guys, give out all your addresses so the 4 or 5 people that are watching us tonight will know how to get in touch with you guys and download these shorts or view them.
Yeah, so you can watch them on SEC Shorts on Facebook. You can just type that in the search bar and it'll pop up. So our page will have the videos there. You can, if you're more of the Instagram crowd, same deal. Just search for SEC Shorts. You can also find us on YouTube. Same deal. Just search SEC Shorts and you can find them one way or the other. If you want to watch the SEC Network ones, those are a little tougher because their internal website player that they put those in is absolutely terrible. So we're trying to work on that. But right now, yeah, that's probably the best way to do it.
That's awesome. I'll tell you what, we really appreciate y'all calling in and giving us some time tonight. I know that our audience has enjoyed hearing from you. We might reach out to y'all a little bit later in the year if that's okay and see if we can get a follow-up visit and see how things are going. And, of course, in the meantime, we look forward to watching all the shorts on Monday.
Well, thanks. Yeah, we appreciate it. We're happy to talk to you guys anytime.
Thanks a lot. Josh Snead, Robert Clay, SEC Shorts. How much fun was that?
Take care, guys. I don't need much makeup either, by the way.
War Eagle.
Roll Tide.
That's a bonus. All right. Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Man.
Those guys are something.
They figured it out. I mean, they were smarter than us.
Well, I mean,
and they're more talented than us, as you pointed out.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's cool. 15 hours of writing.
See, I think the first writing session, you and I would be like, let's just go to McDonald's.
Well,
this is not worth it.
Well, you seen how I write. Sanskrit is what you called it? Sanskrit?
Yeah. Well, mine's not much better, but no, that's those guys are hilarious.
They're good.
They're very good.
Josh Snead, Robert Clay, SEC Shorts. Type that in on your search bar there on Facebook. Watch their stuff. It's addicting. I'm telling you, it's 5 to 7 minutes of just good humor.
And they have multiple. I don't know how many they have out now. Over a dozen, I would think.
Oh, yeah.
Out. So so go see that. And it's interesting. And when he started talking about how he got the start, it rung the bell with me, and I kind of remembered that it was launched off Feinbaum, but I couldn't remember it until he said that. So
I wasn't aware of that. I didn't know that.
I remember I used to listen to Feinbaum a lot, but anyway, and I can remember when he was doing that.
Let's talk about some of the storylines heading into the first full week of the college football season. Those of us in the Deep South, of course, treat it like a holiday. We're eagerly anticipating this weekend, 9 months out of the year. And, of course, starting tonight, I guess, of course, we had Miami and Florida last week. What was kind of a football game, but not really. And, of course, Clemson in action tonight against Georgia Tech and a couple of other games. I think UCLA is playing Cincinnati as well. Mm-hmm. And, of course, this weekend, everybody kind of gets cranked up. But let's look at some of the storylines for some of the teams of interest if we can. Let's start with Auburn and Oregon in Dallas, Texas. Bo Nix named the starting quarterback. Heated battle there with Joey Gatewood through spring training, through the offseason, into the preseason camp. And young Bo, true freshman, is going to get the opening nod. What do you think?
He's going to have a big task ahead of him. They're going to run some multiple sets on defense. They're going to come out and do some things to really try to confuse him, really try to get in his head, keep his head on the swivel. And if they do that, they're going to have some success. And this, bar none, this is the biggest game of the weekend. This will be the biggest game of the weekend, obviously, without saying. And it's going to be big for both teams, but I think it's going to be bigger for Oregon. And the reason why is Auburn's strength of schedule. There's only one team that can afford to drop this game, and that would be Auburn. They would still have a chance to come back and get in it.
I think, and I agree with that. I mean, if when you're playing a team that has to win the game, Oregon, I mean, it's hard to imagine week one being a must win, but if they lose this game, they fall back, and their schedule, like you just mentioned, does not allow them with the marquee games to get back in the race, so to speak. If Auburn loses the game, and I'm not saying they would, but if Auburn lost the game and won the rest of them, you know where they'd be? In the playoff.
They're going to be in the playoff.
Because of the schedule.
They have a very visible path. If they lose this game, they have a very visible path to winding back up in the playoffs.
I mean, because we get the opportunity to go to Texas A&M, to go to Baton Rouge. We get to play Alabama. We get to play Georgia. So there's going to be opportunities to get back in the mix. Oregon doesn't have that.
No.
And I'm not going out there, conceding the game by any stretch of the imagination. But Oregon, with an experienced team, you're going to get their best punch Saturday. One of the things that I think bodes well for Bo Nix going into that game Saturday is I do think Auburn is really good around him. I think the defense is going to give him a chance. I think the special teams are going to be solid. He's got 5 redshirt senior offensive linemen. I mean, surely they can block a little bit.
You haven't had a whole lot of people talk about Auburn's receiving core. They have a really good receiving core, and they have blinding speed.
Yeah.
Blinding speed.
Yeah.
And this will shake out, in my opinion, if everybody stays healthy, to be the best defensive line in Auburn history. And probably one of the best defensive lines in SEC history. You could have 3 defensive linemen off of Auburn's team this year get taken in the first 25 or 30 picks in the NFL draft next year, depending on need.
It looks good on paper. I'll agree with you.
But
you got to get out there and perform. You got to play. I'm going to the game.
Now, Oregon, it's going to be a great game.
Yeah.
They're not slouches coming in.
Yeah. Oh, okay? No.
They have a quarterback that some people said if he would have come out last year would have been the number 1 overall pick. They have a jam up offensive line, which I think their only hole is going to be center. And sometimes I ask or disguise, you'd have to do a lot of slide protect, and then if you blitz him just right, then you're gonna eat that quarterback up. And they have two running backs on the Doak Walker preseason watch list.
And of course, Auburn has the Heisman candidate, Booby Whitlow.
In some opinions, they do.
But I'm looking forward to going out there. I'm looking forward to seeing the stadium. I'm certainly going out to watch the game. I've heard so much about Jerry Jones Stadium at AT&T Stadium. Looking forward to making that short 11-hour drive, getting out there, partaking in it. Stokes and I are, we're going to start our victory tour 2019.
Yeah.
If we win that one, we're going to go to the next one. We're going to go until we lose. All of them.
You may be going a while.
It may be over after Saturday, but who knows?
If Bo holds all the records in high school, and you're right, they got surrounding cast around him, and I'm going to say he's the weak link of that team right now. But
that's fair.
I don't think he's very weak.
That's fair.
I think he's going to be
fair to say. I'm looking forward to watching him play. I'm also looking forward to if Gatewood has a package for him. We've talked about. I said we talked a little bit last week. This transfer portal has become a thing now.
Yeah.
If it doesn't shake out in your favor, so to speak, you have a decision to make. Everybody can play in 4 games with no penalty. If you play in more than 4, you forfeit a redshirt year. So Gatewood has been redshirted, but he could play up until 4 games. He could get in that transfer portal and be eligible somewhere else next year. I'm not saying he should do that. I don't want him to do that. But he being a redshirt freshman, Bo Nix being a true freshman, I dare say that either one of them would sit by and watch the other one play for 3 years.
It would be a tough thing to do, especially if other schools, have interest in you. But I would imagine, and I'm going to throw this, I think there'll be a package for him.
You would think there would have to be something. I mean,
what do you think his best skills as a quarterback would be?
Putting that ball under his arm and running over people.
So
he's 6'5", 245 pounds, and he's a load coming up through there. I mean, I think there's a need for him. I really do.
Short yardage, goal line.
Yeah.
So I think there's going to be a package for him that's going to be worked in. And I think as the season goes, if he falls comfortably into that, Auburn could have for years to come, have a really good dual quarterback tandem, which, if Joey was smart, he would stay there and learn under it and not take all those bumps and bruises, because if he's NFL caliber, he's going to make it there.
Let's look at some other games of interest, and
we'll transition to a tight end.
We'll go to the Alabama-Duke game, and I think that the headline there has to be, prior to kickoff, injuries. My gosh. I mean, Alabama's been decimated with injuries at a particular position. Middle linebacker, to speak bluntly. I mean, they lost Dylan Moses, who was your preseason All-SEC Defensive Player of the Year, was probably one of the 2 or 3 that had a real chance to win that. Preseason All-American. He's going to be a high draft choice towards ACL. You hate to hear that. You certainly hope that he has a successful surgery and rehab and he comes back better than ever. But that's a big, big blow to the Alabama defense.
That's going to be a big loss, because you've got freshmen sitting there behind him with no experience. Granted,
they lost a McMillan kid too. Weren't they the 2 at the top of the depth chart and lost both of them?
Yeah, I believe so. And
replaced 2 seniors with 2 freshmen
with no experience.
Yeah,
and that's hard, because in that defense, and in most defenses, your linebacker is the quarterback of your defense, and so them getting to a ball and making plays is not going to be a problem. I think physically they can do that. It's going to be pre-snap. How good are they pre-snap, and is it going to adversely affect them because of lack of experience there?
Well, also, and we said this about Bo Nix, and we can say this about the Lee kid that's going to be one of the linebackers that's going to step in and take that starting nod. They're going to be real good around him. I mean, he doesn't have to be Superman. I know, granted, that position on Alabama's defense is very, very important. That's the quarterback of the defense, that middle linebacker spot. The guys who have played it in years before, when you talk about McLean and you talk about Mac Wilson, Reuben Foster, CJ, all those guys that have played it, Dylan Moses was the next guy up, and now he's gone. So that void has to be filled. But when he looks around, he's going to be surrounded by a lot of real good football players.
Yes. But again, it goes back to the quarterback on the field on defense is generally located in that position. Mm-hmm. And that's where it's going to hurt. It's not going to hurt against Duke. It's not going to hurt against New Mexico State. It probably won't even hurt the third game against South Carolina, because by then they'll have a little more experience and have a little game speed in their repertoire. But down the road, when you get to some of the big heavyweights, it's going to hurt. It's going to hurt not having him there, unless these guys really, really come full circle in their knowledge of reading all these exotic offenses.
Some other kind of late breaking news in terms of regards to kickoff. The 2 top running backs have been suspended for the first half, missing a team function, team meeting, somewhere along those lines.
All you have to do is get dressed and show up.
But, here's the thing. Alabama's going to win that game. Okay, Alabama, if they get off the bus, they're going to beat Duke. It's just a matter of how bad that beating's going to be. I'm not so sure, and I have no inside information with what happened, but I wonder if it was minimal in terms of an infraction, and Coach Saban's is going to get their attention, going to get the whole team's attention. I mean, when you sit Najee Harris and you sit Michael Robinson,
Brian
Robinson, the 2 thoroughbreds in the backfield,
that's your 1 and 2.
all of a sudden, I would think that would get everybody's attention. I'm not, and maybe they did miss a team meeting. Maybe I don't know what it was, but I'm just wondering if Coach Saban took this opportunity to say, hey, I'm fixing to grab the bull by the horns. I'm going to get their attention, and we're fixing to move this thing forward. I just want
that was a little disappointing that you read that, and that's what had happened, if that's what happened, that they missed a team meeting, because everything I've heard Saban say up until then was he really liked the chemistry and makeup of this team. Mm-hmm. And they were self-policing, and it was different than last year's team. He really was excited about that. And then, boom, 2 days before the game, you have, some foolishness like this show, come surface. So, all the guys, they're getting everything handed to them up there. All they have to do is get up, get dressed, and go and be where they're supposed to be. And they're playing. I find that incredible that 2 young men can't be somewhere where they need to be when they need to be there.
I agree with you. I just wonder if they were 5 seconds late, 5 minutes late. I still kind of hold on to the idea that Coach Saban's making a point and getting their attention.
And that could be. And do it before the first game. So.
Let's look at a final game that I think that those of us in the Deep South will have an interest in, and it's only because 2 conference teams are opening up the season against each other, Georgia and Vanderbilt. Some of us are taking on really strong teams. Some of us are taking on cupcakes. And these 2 are decided to get in and try to get a win in the conference column out of the chute. Georgia's going to beat Vanderbilt.
By cupcakes, are you referring to?
I'm just saying. I mean, you got a schedule in front of you. You look at it.
Georgia, Vandy. Vandy's going to be a cupcake for Georgia.
Speaking of, while we're here and while we're at this point, you and I had talked about, each week, we're not condoning, we're not promoting gambling in any stretch of the imagination. But there are services out there that predict and are willing to take wagers on how bad a team might beat a particular team.
Yeah, it's just for fun, and it's just prognostication. Just for fun.
And you and I decided that we would take those numbers and make a pick each week.
Yet one more thing that I get to beat you in. The 109, I would have beat you if you wouldn't have me arrested. What else?
The Rib 09.
I beat you in the Rib 09. You had Larry Murphy in your pocket.
Yeah.
Which is a sponsor of ours, by the way, right?
All right, so a game that I'm going to pick this week, and I wanted to pick the Auburn-Oregon game, but I'm not. I'm going to stay away from it. I picked the Vanderbilt-Georgia game. Some people think that Georgia's going to win by 21.5 points.
Wake me up at halftime. It's going to be a snoozer.
I'm going to take
it's going to be a snoozer.
The dogs. I'm going to lay the points. Blue Horseshoe loves Georgia.
Watch this game because you're probably looking at the Heisman finalist at quarterback. The other Heisman finalist, I think, is playing right now.
Here's what you miss, and this is perfect. You just set me up perfect. This describes really your life.
Yeah, what's that?
The Heisman finalist is going to be in the game, but it's the running back Swift. He's going to go for 250 yards and 4 touchdowns, running behind the best offensive line in the country. Georgia has the best offensive line in the country. They have nobody established at wideout.
They're
going to give it to Swift. Swift's going to be in New York. Mark it down. I'm going to write it down.
I'm not saying he ain't going to be there.
Swift is going to be in New York.
Y'all write this down out there, okay?
Got it.
You kind of dispelled that last week with what you said last week, though, because you said it was an off year for running backs.
I did.
He's the cream of the crop, no doubt.
There's no doubt. Him, Booby Whitlow.
But there's one ball, and are you going to take? You mean to tell me if you're Kirby Smart, you're not going to throw that ball down the field?
Who's he going to throw it to?
You're going to hand it off enough times to him to be able to garner enough rushing stats.
The best offensive line in the country. Not a close second.
I'll shave my head just like yours if he wins the Heisman Trophy.
Or you don't just pull the toupee off.
It's real, pal. You won't find me. You won't find me hanging in the back of a meat locker truck or whatever. Was it Maury?
Okay, Maurice.
So you took.
I took Georgia. I laid the 21.5, and I'm taking the Georgia Bulldogs.
Okay, let me ask you this. I want to get your not spread. I'm just talking about straight up.
Yep.
You're going to this game.
I am.
You're going to be out in Dallas, Texas.
Victory Tour 2019.
So is that your pick? You're picking Auburn over Oregon. Not the spread. Straight up.
I'll answer.
Okay.
And I'm going to give you my gut. I'm going to give you what I really think is going to happen. With a caveat. If Bo Nix plays decent.
No. No, Attorney Jennings. Yeah. I want
Auburn. Okay. I want, you've bullied me into it.
Who is going to win the game?
Auburn is going to win by 2 scores. Is
that 2 field goals?
I would say they will win by double-digit points.
Double-digit points.
Auburn will win by double-digit points.
That's pretty bold.
Yeah,
pretty bold. Okay, so you had your line, and it was the Georgia Vandy
minus
21.5. He's not going to take this one, and I will never do an Alabama one during the year because we don't like doing that. But the game that I chose the line on is Auburn and Oregon.
Okay.
Some had them at 4. I took it at 3.5. Auburn given 3.5.
Okay.
Even though Oregon's ranked higher.
In some polls. Not mine.
Even though some prognosticators or talking heads on TV have picked Oregon to win this game.
Everybody's got an opinion.
I think, and I can't believe I'm saying this, I'm agreeing with you. I think Auburn will win by double digits.
Well, you've gotten smarter in 2 weeks.
Well, I call it like I see it. But I will to have a caveat because I'm not an Auburn fan.
Okay.
Bo Nix cannot hurt the offense or hurt drives.
Isn't that what I was trying to say?
Early in the game.
Isn't that what I was trying to say?
I think Auburn will settle in. Their speed will take over, and Auburn will wear them down. And I'll go ahead and tell you this, too. I'll say it now. Beginning of the season. Auburn is my dark horse to be in the national championship.
Okay, you're setting me up for something.
I'm just telling you. Auburn is that good this year. If Bo Nix matures at the level of lightning speed, and he may come out and be refined as Joe Montana this first game. And if he is, I'm going to tell you something. Auburn's going to shoot through everybody.
Well, I've got the Ford Fusion gassed up for the Victory Tour 2019, and I'm going to all of them as long as we win. All of them.
So who does Auburn play first?
They got Oregon.
In Dallas. Game 2 is?
I think we play Tulane.
And I'm assuming that's in Auburn.
Come on, man.
Y'all could do home and homes with Tulane.
Come on, man.
Game 3 is who?
I don't know. Another cupcake.
Okay. So then you start getting.
But we go to Gainesville.
Getting SEC play. That'll be good. No, I don't think we will.
Do you know the last time I was in Gainesville?
Felipe Franks made me sick.
Do you know the last time I was in Gainesville? For a football game?
Was Patrick Nix quarterback?
1995. Pat Nix to Frank Sanders.
I knew it.
They were number 1 in the country. The old ball coach.
I know you saw this picture. The 2010 national championship game last and first time Auburn played Oregon. Did you see the picture I'm talking about?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Cam Newton was in the stands celebrating.
Yeah. Oh, yes. And young Bo. Yeah.
The little kid.
Yeah. Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
That's weird.
That is the first.
That's a cool picture.
And last time they played him, and now that young kid's going to be starting quarterback.
That's wild, isn't it?
I mean, can you imagine how he's going to feel? Imagine how his daddy feels.
His dad. You know, and I'm not trying to, I'm not guaranteeing this. I'm going to be in the tailgating group for a while with Pat Nix. And I'm going to see if he'll call in next Thursday just to kind of talk about the emotions that you just mentioned, watching your kid play. And of course, he being a coach, he's going to evaluate him.
I mean,
I'm going to try to see if he'll call in next Thursday and just kind of talk about some of it. I think it's really cool.
Ex-Auburn player, so he has that perspective.
Yep.
Current coach and state championship coach, back to back. Yeah, because they beat Wetumpka first year. I was at that game when Bo was a junior. And then now his son is the starting quarterback at Auburn, the first time since 1946.
I think that's right.
That a true freshman has started at Auburn.
Right. Yep.
And really has a chance, in my opinion, Auburn does, a dark horse chance, but a chance, dark horse right now, because the only question mark in my mind, but wouldn't it be great if he was the first to be the 80s, something like that? Isn't that a true freshman quarterback has won a national championship? Isn't the guy a senator or something now? He played for,
I don't know, I mean, the guy last year did it.
Nebraska.
Trevor Lawrence did it last year.
Oh, yeah, he was a true freshman, wasn't he?
Yeah. Are you still concussed from the game?
They just
No, sir. He was 18 years old. Sunshine.
I want to try to block. I want to try to block that game out if I could. You're just not ever going to let me forget
Sunshine.
I had a goal, and you're like, well, I'm circling.
This isn't happening. He is not serving this up away.
I full on McEnroe that for you, dude.
Running down some other conference matchups being played. I think they're Memphis. Don't sleep on Memphis.
Memphis is going to beat them outright.
I agree.
You heard it here.
I agree.
Ole Miss is horrible.
Toledo and Kentucky.
I think Kentucky will win that one. Cavassier Smoke, been getting a lot of, he's from Alabama with Wetumpka. Saw him play several years up there.
Is he the running back?
Yes.
And he's with who? Kentucky. Is he going to play?
He's going to be legit, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he'll play. He'll make some noise by the time he's a junior, senior. You'll hear his name.
Border War, South Carolina, North Carolina.
Who you think?
South Carolina has the better team, and I said this last week. I don't believe leading your program is just. I'm not saying
North Carolina's got the Mac factor.
He's a. I mean, he just doesn't. He doesn't scare me. Muschamp doesn't scare me.
Well, they got Mac Brown back, so they got the Mac factor.
Yeah.
Mac the knife, so who knows? But I still think South Carolina's
going to win that game. And they probably do. They play Clemson.
Auburn people don't.
Well,
they don't think that.
We got a tough one. I don't think it's
do
South Carolina. Georgia State, Tennessee this weekend. Tennessee's going to Rocky Top that one. You would have to assume Arkansas and Portland State could be a shootout.
Is Arkansas's mom letting them play this year?
According to our guys, they're not. They're not.
Josh and Robert hit that on the head.
That was great.
Made that one. I'm going to the Pac-12. Okay.
Georgia Southern, LSU.
Oh, that won't be close.
It's going to be a long afternoon for Georgia Southern.
That won't be close.
I think LSU's going to be really good. I think I didn't believe in them. I didn't believe in Burrow, Joe Burrow. He's a pretty good football player.
You're seeing something different than what I see out of him.
I think he's a pretty good football player.
You're seeing something different.
I like him.
Who's Troy got this week? Did you look that up?
I did not. They did in conference. Missouri, Wyoming.
Ooh. Wyoming has not been all that good in years past, which they did have a W.S. Neal player on their team a decade or so ago, by the way.
Score posted. Thank you, Mark the Shark. A&M up 14-0 into the first quarter.
What is what's the Clemson score? Has anybody got that? Clemson, Georgia Tech? And I'm assuming they've kicked by now.
Mississippi State, Louisiana.
State ought to win that.
Yeah. So everybody's getting kicked off. Florida, of course, off this weekend, but everybody getting some action. Georgia, Vanderbilt, one of them is going to put a win in the conference column, and somebody's going to put a loss. I got a feeling which I'm out there. I'm going Dogs. What else? Next week, next Thursday, we will be set up. Once again, we'll kind of get it around Coach Nix, Pat Nix. If we can get him to call in, we will certainly spend as much time with him as we can. We are going to take some call-ins from some viewers next week. We have one from one special caller who is on tap. I won't reveal too much at the moment, but is set to call in and going to share comments and opinions, and we look forward to that. And for all of you that interact with us here on Facebook or YouTube, wherever you may be watching it, if you want to call in, we'll get the phone number posted up, and we'll be in a position next week to take some phone calls and hear your thoughts.
Talk about the previous game.
Opinions.
Talk about the upcoming game. Whatever you want to talk about. Let's give them half the show. Let's give them half the show next week.
Let's do it.
I want to hear what other people say.
Clemson 21-0. Clemson really did just score again.
You love that. Got some birthdays before we get out of here. You have a bunch of them.
I have a bunch of them. You may go first?
Yeah, go first.
My daughter was on Tuesday, the 27th. Mm-hmm. My mother was yesterday on the 28th, and my dad is today on the 29th. So I'm broke as a joke heading to Dallas, Texas.
You better hit an oil well when you get out there.
Bam.
Stop in Louisiana and get one of them casinos. And then my baby girl, middle child, Molly Elizabeth Burnham, turns 14 today. And
the big 1-4.
The big 1-4. And her sister surprised her coming in from college. They don't have practice tomorrow, and they're out eating right now. And they said they were going to try to watch the show while they were out having her little birthday party at Coach's Corner. So they're in Wetumpka on the river. So happy birthday, Molly. Love you. Happy birthday to all of the Jennings clan.
Look at here.
Lindsay.
2-time national champ and number 2 in my poll as we speak. UCF up 41-0 over FAMU.
Them Rattlers.
That game not at the half yet, by the way.
Wow. UCF's got it rolling down there.
So there'll be a lot of shakeup in the polls next week. I was on record, and I'm a fair person.
Are they going to jump Clemson?
No, I didn't say that.
Okay.
I had Auburn 4, Oregon 5. The loser goes way back. The winner goes to 3.
This one will go back for a while. If it loses, then it has a chance to come back.
It'd have a chance to come back. Yeah, but the loser of that game is going back. The winner of that game.
Does that scare you a little bit if Oregon loses? And they probably if I'm smart enough to figure it out.
Yeah.
You don't think those coaches hadn't figured it out. So does that scare you a little bit, knowing that essentially first game out of the block, their chances for making the playoff is on the line? Does that scare you as an opponent?
Yes. That's why I prefaced it by saying that. They've got to win.
Yeah.
Oregon's got to win.
That's dangerous.
Yeah. They'll be holding nothing back Saturday.
That's going to be the best game of the weekend by far.
Well, game day's there.
Are they really?
Yep.
I hadn't known. I've been working so much and in a cave. So, okay, there's the number to call.
I can, was that 251-260-8600.
So that's War Eagle Roll Tide. Put that in your phone. Write that down somewhere. Next week, after the special call, or maybe before the special call, according to time, or maybe around the special call, we're going to take phone calls from y'all. We're going to recap weekend's events, and then we want to hear what you've got to say.
Also, another little nugget out there, if you'll go to the website, Ken, is that the War Eagle Roll Tide website or Bossman Productions website? WarEagleRollTide.com. Go to the website. There'll be a quick little information screen that'll come up. We want to get your email address, contact information. We're going to have a little blog newsletter going out periodically throughout the year. I have some different little promos and stuff on it. You'll want to go and get that filled out to keep up to date and see what's going on, because you never can tell. You just never can tell what we may have out there for you to participate in. But
Did we get an invite from the SEC Short guys?
That's what I heard.
It was hard for me to hear sometime, and I either heard what I wanted to hear or they actually said it.
Winning.
I'm going to be in their office Monday.
Okay.
That's what I heard.
Do I need to update my headshots?
We were invited. So I think when I said Cole Kublik, kind of, okay, you're in.
They look fairly young, so they may not have been born whenever Mini-Me, they may not have got the Mini-Me reference. Hopefully they did.
Yeah, we can review the top 5 for those that may not have been with us last week. Top 5 going into the season, and this will be fluid. Unlike most pollsters, I'm a fair guy. I will put people where they rightfully deserve to be. And it is not, what have you done for me the past 5 years, the past 10 years, what your traditional position may be.
Thanks, Timmy Wiggins.
It is what you are doing now.
Gas on the fire.
Number 1, Clemson.
Seriously, they're only up 28-0. UCF is up 41-0.
Well, I'm coming to UCF. And here's the split. Clemson won the mythical exhibition season championship, beating Bama, what was it, 58-7 or 59-6?
It was 44-16.
It was worse than that.
Okay.
2, and they are the 2-time defending regular season champion. Haven't lost in 2 years, UCF. 3, I have Oklahoma. They have the best quarterback in the country. Oklahoma number 3. Auburn 4, Oregon 5. But the loser of that game is out for a while. Winner's moving up. Only because whoever wins that game will have the best win of the year to date.
So you're throwing that winner up above Clemson?
No. I'm just saying that would put them above Oklahoma if Oklahoma gets it done this weekend. Because Oklahoma has no merit. These other 2 teams are championship winners. Clemson, UCF. They're going to be 1 and 2 until somebody beats them. And that's fair.
Your logic frightens me.
That's fair.
I can't process it.
But I'm watching a lot of teams. I'm going to watch Alabama. I'm going to watch the Ohio State Buckeyes. I'm going to continue to watch LSU. Texas A&M. I think Texas A&M has a chance.
When you said Ohio State, it reminded me when they were doing one of the Big Ten at the end. He said, "We have." I'm not even trying to talk in that voice. Urban Meyer, and he starts rattling off, and the guy walks in. And he says, "Oh, Steve, we can edit this, right, Steve?" That's hilarious. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go to SEC Shorts and then put in Big Ten hijacks SEC. Those guys are hilarious.
Well, we are up against a hard break. It's been another good night in here in Wargo Roll Tide. Want to thank our guests from SEC Shorts once again. If you haven't seen their stuff, type it into your search bar. Go look at them. You're going to love them. Weekly parodies with all our conference teams. It's the not so serious short for the serious football fan.
Yeah, I mean
that's what it is.
Yeah,
it really is.
They've been living in our minds for the last 30 years, and Josh Snead and Robert Clay do a awesome, marvelous job at that, and you really got to watch them because some of the slight things they say in there is really heavy comedy. If you follow SEC and SEC football, it's hilarious. So be sure to get in there and watch those guys and give them some clicks and views.
It's here. Opening day is upon us. Do what you do. Tailgate. Get the fam. Get the friends. Get the fire. Whatever.
Stay off the roof.
Have a big time. I'm starting the victory tour this weekend. I'll get back, have a report, see if it's still in effect for week 2, and the Lord willing, we'll do it all over again next Thursday night, 7 p.m.-ish. I want to thank Ken James, executive producer. T-Bone, you be careful on your travels back, and I'm sure I'll get a couple of 100 texts from you sometime over the weekend.
You will.
War Eagle.
Roll Tide. We'll try better next time.